I am Jess Domingo and I will be talking about the introduction of creative and mental growth and the meaning of art and education. So, art and education is a primary pathway to our learning, a journey of discovery of the meaning of teaching for aesthetic experience. Arts also is an expression of ideas created by human imagination, skills, and invention. So, what is arts education? Some might define arts education narrowly as the visual and performing arts delivered in a standard-based, sequential approach by a qualified instructor as part of the core curriculum.
So the example of arts and education is the dance, music, visual art, theater, creative writing, media arts, history, criticism, and aesthetics.
The term is used in the broadest sense, including arts-centered and arts-integrated curriculum in both academic and community settings. So let's proceed to creative and mental growth. Viktor Lowenfeld was an art educator, artist, psychologist, author, and professor at Pennsylvania State University, and is famous for his works about child development and growth relating to art and creativity. Lowenfeld was born on Linz, Austria in 1903. Lowenfeld also eventually wrote an important book about these studies titled Sculptures of the Mind, which was in collaboration with Dr. Munz, the art historian and photographer. The Creative and Mental Growth was published in 1947 and became the most influential book in art education. Lowenfeld believed that evidence of aesthetic, social, physical, and intellectual and emotional growth is reflected in the art of the child. And the main emphasis of the book are the stages of artistic
So good afternoon,
development
sir. I am
which a
Charis
child
May Loro.
experience
Now,
over
let's
time
move on to
according
the
to age
importance
and
of creative
experience.
activity in elementary education. So nga nang importante man nga integrate nato ang creative activity sa elementary. It's because through aning activity, ari nila ma-express sa ilang kaugalingon ang ilang na-feel ug ang na-experience. Kamantay mo, ang mga bata ilig kayo na sila mag-drawing-drawing o magkanta-kanta. Ang uban gani drawingan pa nilang bumong sa ilang balay. So, it's their way of expressing themselves. So kita, as future educators, dapat dili ta mahimong obstruction or mo interfere sa ilaha. Kung naa gani tayo pabuhat sa ilaha related sa arts, dapat dili ta mag-set og specific rules kung unsaon na siya pagbuhat, unsay color nga dapat gamiton, dapat ba follow ang right proportions so kung sa ara kay dili na nila ma-express og tarong ang ilang kaugalingon. Reminder, art is not the same for the child as it is for the adult. Next, we have the effect of stereotype workbooks and coloring books on children. So nasa diay negative effect ang paggamit ng mga coloring books sa usa ka estudyante. So a study by Hillman shows clear evidence of the effects of imitative methods like coloring books on the child's creativeness. It has been revealed by experimentation and research that more than half of all children exposed to coloring books lose their creativeness and their independence of expression become dependent. So diba hilig man sad na mag-color-color ang mga estudyante? Nakita as future educators dapat tagaan nato silang time nga mag-drawing o mag-color-color without using the coloring books. Kay kung pasagdaanan ato sila nga magsige gamit og coloring books and stereotype workbooks, hangin nga na magsaligran na sila. Tamaran na sila mo drawing og di pa jud nila matagaan na og opportunity nga ma-express silang kagalingon kay diba sa coloring book, drawing naman na daan igon na lang sila mag-color-color. Now, let's differentiate self-expression from imitation. So when we say self-expression, this is the appropriate mode of expression according to the mental level of the child. So mao ni ang mga pamaagi kung saan pa-express sa bata siyang kaugalingon. Imitation on the other hand, mao ni ang pag-imitate or pagsuon-suon sa bata sa usa ka tawo. So if the child expresses himself according to his own level, he become encouraged in his own independent thinking. However, if the child imitates, he become dependent in his thinking, kaya magsalig na lang na siya sa thoughts o expression sa ubang tao. So kung usa ka bata na practice niya ang independent thinking, dalit na lang para siya nga ma-express ang iyang kaugalingon o kaysa niya matakol ang mga problema nga yan encounter sa iyang kinabuhi. Thus, his expression serves also as an emotional outlet and he will gain freedom and flexibility. So kung ma-develop na sa bata ng freedom and flexibility, dalit na lang para sa iya to adjust kung na siya mga new situations nga ma-encounter siyang kinabuhi. Pero kung ang usa gani ka bata na practice niyang independent thinking, na ay restrictions siyang mode of expression, meaning maglisod siya o express siyang kaugalingon or di niya ma-express siyang tarong ngayang kaugalingon kaya nagsalig mo siya sa lain tao, which can lead to feelings of frustration. So kung ma-frustrate na gani ang bata because he is kanang accustomed to imitating others rather than expressing himself creatively, maglisod na siya adjust if na siya ma-encountering a new situation sa iyang kinabuhi. Depende naman siya sa lain tao. Next, we have the significance of self-identification through arts. So self-identification plays a significant role in an individual since it helps individual understand the strength and weaknesses and provides a foundation for development. So naan siya 6 parts. So first, the self-identification in teaching. So kita as future teachers, dapat kailata sa ato ang mga estudyante o gibaw sad ta mo identify silang mga creative, physical o psychological needs para ma-motivate nato sila effectively. So if maka-identify nato sa needs sa usa ka bata, dalit na lang para sa tuwa nga i-identify ang needs sa uban estudyante. Nga atuwa din na silang tabangan o suportahan para ma-enhance silang skills. Second, self-identification of the child with his art experience. So na iba ni estudyante nga bala grabe na kayo motivate si teacher sila maglisod gyapon na sila identify silang experience or sa ilang kagalingon. Kung maglisod gyud na sila identify silang experience, mawagtang sa nang ilang confidence. Nya kung ato na sila i-encourage pa maayo, ma-pressure po na sila or maka-feel na sila og frustration. So kita, as future teachers, dapat dili nato pressure atong mga estudyante. So for example, instead nga mangutan na ta or mingon ta sila nga, di ka kibaw mo drawing of flower, sus kaya lagi na nimo ikaw pa. Dapat ato sila ingnon og dali mag-observe sa mga flowers ato sa gawas na ingna ko sa imo nakita og na feel. In this way, the child can be able to identify his own experience before he can be motivated to produce something creative. So, di ba, na-experience naman niya, nakakita man siya kung sa'y color sa buwak, kung sa'y forma sa buwak, dalit na lang para siya nga maka-create of something creative. Since the urge for expression will only come through an intense experience. Third, self-identification with the art medium. So, ang art medium, mao na yung mga materials na gigamit sa mga estudyante para ma-express nilang ilang kagalingan through arts. So, ang job nato as a future teacher is to know and introduce these appropriate materials at a time when the child is most ready to use them. So, ato sila tagaan ng mga materials nga appropriate po sa ila. So, dito matag ang mga materials nga dilisad appropriate sa ila. Then, fourth, self-identification with technique and procedure. So, when we say technique, mao na siya mga pamaagi or individual's use of materials as a means of expression. So, this cannot be explained or taught. So, nagdepende rin siya sa usa ka bata kung sa gamiton niya nga technique para ma-express siyang kaugalingon. So, ang procedure, mao na yung mga steps or mga ways in accomplishing something. So, dili sad ma-develop ang technique kung dili kibaw ang estudyante sa procedure. So, kita as future teachers, ato silang i-guide. Fifth, self-identification and appreciation. So, nana siya tulo ka main factors. First, the level of appreciator. So, this is how you relate yourself to the creator. So, kung ganahan gani ka makibaw sa background sa or sa meaning ani nga certain nga art, dapat imo sang i-relate imong kaugalingon sa creator para makasabot ka. Next, the subject matter or mo na siya ang content or ang message nga ganahan imo i-convey through sa imong art. And lastly, the means of expression. So, mao na ang mga materials gamit sa creator. So, kanin tulo expresses the relation of the artist to himself and to his environment. And lastly, self-identification for social adjustment. So, kung usa ka bata kaya niya ma-express siyang kaugalingon through his own works, dali na lang para siya nga ma-appreciate o ma-understand ng yang environment. So, di na niya need nga kana mag-agad og lain tao. So, dali na niya ma-identify ang needs sa iyang kaugalingon ug ang needs sa uban tao. And we have the meaning of art in the classroom. So, art with all its variety can be helpful study in any classroom since it promotes emotional, intellectual, physical, perceptual, social, and aesthetic growth.
So, good afternoon, sir. I am Jan Angel Seinsu from BEd 2A, and I'm going to tackle about the Lowenfeld stages of artistic development. So, Viktor Lowenfeld, 1903 to 1960, so he was an art teacher and psychologist who developed a theory of artistic development in children. So which has become a cornerstone of art education. So Lowenfeld's stages of artistic development model provides a framework for understanding the progression of artistic skills and expression in children, from the early stages of scribbling to the more complex stages of realistic representation and abstract thinking. So here are the stages. The first stage is the scribble stage, or the beginning of expression, age 1 to 3 years old. Learners at this stage are engaged in the physical activity of drawing. There is no connection between the marks and the representation during most of the scribble stage. So in this stage, kanang 1 to 3 years old, so kanang di ba ganahan man gina ang mga bata ang mag-drawing. So ang ilahang drawing ana nga stage kay wala pag sense ang ilaha kay like na ko example diri inani ang ilahang kuan ay ang ilahang drawing kay inani ang ilahang drawing. Like wala joy ka nang nana. So the next one is the pre-schematic stage, or the first presentational attempts. So age 3 to 4 years old. So or the children at this stage of artistic development are beginning to see connections between the shapes that they draw and the physical world around them. So sa first stage, ang scribble stage, kay di ba wala pa man to, dili pa to makuan sa mga bata nga nag-age of 1 to 3 nga wala pa yung connection sa kuan ba. So karon kay murag nag-anam-anam gani sila og ka nag-anam-anam og ka-innovate ang ilahang pangutok o anam-anam og develop ang ilang pangutok. So kanang karon kay nakakita na sila og kuan murag nanay connection ang shapes ba. Then na ako example diri sa kuan di ba drawing nako akong ig-agaw ba, so mao ni siya like kani circles kanang people circles and lines may be described as people or objects that are physically present in a child's life. It is the stage that a child first makes the connection to communicating through their drawing. So di ba makabantay man ta sa kanang nag-edad na og 3 to 4 years old na nang ginay buot-buot di pareha sa 1 to 3 nga kanang murag wa ko gid sila pakialam kung unsa na ang ilahang gidraw ba. So kani pag abot sa stage 2 kay murag na sila kanang kuan nga kanang circle kanang nani ra gulo like mauni magbuhat-buhat din na sila comics mauni si kuan muto ang ilahang tao ana kay kani pang circle o mga sticks. So for the continuation, so let's now move on to stage 3, where the schematic stage of 5 to 6 years old, or the achievement of a form. So the children at this stage have clearly assigned shapes to objects that they are attempting to communicate. They often have developed a schema. In the word schema, kayo kanang practice siya ba? Like kanang nag-evolve ang ilahang panghuna-huna din na practice na nila og unsa to, di ba? Di pareha sa kanang the scribble nga kanang wala pagid sila mulatagaw pagid nilang panghuna-huna din kanang bisag unsa na lang tong ilahang ipang draw din wala gito yung meaning. Din kani pag abot sa third stage kay nakakuan-kuan na ang mga bata ani nga stage. Nanaman sila sa grade 1 o kinder. So nanagid sila kanang kuan sa drawing. Then they often have developed a schema, like what I've said, they often have developed a schema for creating drawings. There is a defined order in the development of drawing. So, na ko example diri, pabuhat Japon ko kay. Curious kay ko ba? Moto dara. Nana, di ba? Ang tao kay murag na siya kanang kuan. Then naka-develop na naka-schema na sila og ganang inani. Mao ni building na ni. nana sila ka ng house how, kanang sa nana sila kay bawa na sila og asa ang kanang clouds, asa ang kanang ang ground. So sa kani nga stage nag-evolve gud ang ilahang panguna-una og ilahang kanang ang ilahang artistic development ba ni inahinay og evolve. So the next kay ang the stage 4, the drawing out the dawning realism or the gang age at the 7 to 9 years old. So nanagid ni nanagid ni sa mga grade 2, grade 3, mga, I think nana sila sa grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, nana sila sa primary. Then at this stage, children are beginning to become more critically of their own work. It has become evident that a structured order to drawing objectives is no longer sufficient. Overlapping can be seen and a sense of spatial relationship is more evident. So, sa dinhi kay kanang pa man kay maklaro na siya. Maklaro na siya ang drawing ug ang tao ug hibaw na sila asa ang kanang ang clouds, asa na ang kanang ang ground. So ikabot diri sa stage 4 nag-anam-anam na gyud og ka ilahang pangunahuna sa artistic development nila kay nagkanang like creative na sila ba, naghibaw na sila og unsaon gud na. The next, na ako example diri ay. So dara nakita na nato nga naagi ka ng say nga ni naay ka ng nadyo kalahian ba dara ha tanaw ipagkuan ako ang first stage, dara ang first stage, second stage naa nadyo kalahian, third stage.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nika A. Olinares. In continuation, we will now proceed to the pseudo-naturalistic stage or the stage of reasoning from 11 to 13 years old. So, dahil nga stage kay diri na mag-start ang pre-adolescence. So, dili na nato sila refer as children's. So at this stage, adolescents become increasingly aware of their surroundings and strive for more realistic interpretations of their art. First is awareness of surroundings. So sa kaninga stage, kay highly observant na kaayo sila sa ilahang environment. Ilahan ang manotes ang details in everyday objects and scenes that they may not have paid much attention before. For instance, a 12-year-old might start to notice the intricate textures and colors of leaves in their backyard. Second is correct depth and proportions. So they begin to apply the principles of depth and proportions for more accurately in their art. So if mag-drawing na sila human, they will strive to depict the right proportions of the human body parts. Subli murag ganahan gani sila nga ang ilahang art kay mas realistic na ang appearance ingon ana. Then third is observational drawing. Adolescents often engage in observational drawing. So mo spend time na sila in sketching objects, scenes, or people from their life. This means that ga-improve na ilahang ability to represent what they see. Fourth is critical self-evaluation. So at this stage, magka-critical na sila sa ilahang works. Like ma-self-conscious na sila about their art and hesitant na sad to share it with others. Kay diri naman magsugod ang ilahang fear of judgment or fear of criticism. Next is the period of decision or the crisis of adolescence seen in creative activity from 13 to 17 years old. So this is a crucial time for artistic development. Adolescents enter the artistic challenge stage where they make key decisions about their involvement in art. First is mark making as self-expression. So sa kini nga stage, ang ilahang artistic expression kay mas natural na, mas instinctive na. Mark making, whether through painting strokes, pencil lines, or digital brushwork, becomes a form of personal self-expression. Second is exploration of art materials. Ari na magsugod ilahang pag-explore sa mga wider range of art materials and techniques. Mag-experiment na ni sila with different mediums like acrylics, watercolors, charcoal, or digital tools to discover what resonates with them. Third is decisions on artistic path. So in this stage, ilahan na start og contemplate ang ilahang future involvement with art. So they may decide whether they want to pursue formal art education, ilaha bang i-consider ang art as a career, or simply ilaha lang i-continue as a meaningful hobby. Lastly is adolescence art. So at this stage, adolescents continue to build upon their artistic foundation. Their art becomes a reflection of their evolving identities, interests, and emotions. So first is personal expression and emotion. Adolescents use art as a powerful means to express their inner world. Mo-create na ni sila og art to convey their emotions, thoughts, and experiences. Second is exploration of diverse mediums. So during this phase, eager na kaayo ni sila nga mo experiment with a wide range of artistic mediums. Mo try na ni sila painting, sculpture, photography, digital art, or even performance art. Third is thematic exploration. So adolescents often explore themes that are deeply personal or relevant sa ilahang life. They might focus on topics like identity, social issues, or their own experience. Ang uban ani is mo raise na og awareness through their art. Fourth is experimentation and risk-taking. Sa kini nga stage kay willing na kaayo sila mo take og creative risks. They may push boundaries by using unconventional materials, techniques, or subject matter. So an example could be an artist who creates sculptures from found objects and recyclables to emphasize environmental sustainability. Fifth is art as communication. So art becomes a powerful form of communication. Gamito na nila ang art to convey messages about issues they are passionate about, such as climate change, gender equality, or mental health. So sa kasagaran sa mga ina ni makita po dyan nato ni sa social media. The next is peer influence and collaboration. So influential na kaayo ang peer feedback o collaboration ani nga stage. They often work together on art projects or seek input from friends to refine their artistic ideas. Lastly is development of artistic voice. So as they progress through adolescence, artists begin to develop their unique artistic voice. They refine their style and their works become more distinctive. Nanay transition from mimicking famous artists to developing their own recognizable styles. In conclusion, recognizing these stages allows educators and parents to offer the right kind of support, encouragement, and resources to nurture a child's artistic growth. Remember, each child is unique. While these stages provide a guideline, individual variations are always present. It is crucial to appreciate and understand a child's unique creative journey.
So now, let's talk about the aesthetic criteria, which means developed about the visual, oral, and oral aspects of the witness event derived from cultural and emotional values and cognitive meaning. So when we say aesthetic, this is the study of beauty, and criteria is the standard. So, when we say beauty, it is subjective. Dili ka na, nindot para sa ako is nindot na po para sa inyo ha. Ang aesthetic criteria is na siya two values, which is the negative and positive. Ang negative kay diha nila mga dawat ang kanang mga bungurag saway. While ang positive kay mga lindot nga feedback para sa imong gibuhat mo kuan. Na drawing ba na or kanang kanta. Well, ang kuan, ang kanang negative kay diha mo criticize kanila. So now let's move on to the gifted child. Gifted child is born with the natural abilities well above the average for their age. Ang kaning mga bata diri is ilahang edad wala ay ilahang critical thinking wala nag-agad silang edad.
So let's move to the next topic, which is the discipline-based art education, or the DBA. So discipline-based art education by Elliott Eisner. So Elliott Eisner, he was a prominent American educator and scholar known for his work in arts education and curriculum development. So he was born on March 10, 1933 and passed away on January 10, 2014. So Eisner's contributions to education include his emphasis on the importance of the arts in fostering creativity, critical thinking, and a well-rounded education. So well-rounded education, it means that they had a broad knowledge and a balanced set of skills in different areas. So, ang DB, ang kaniyang framework is kanang it is a way of teaching art that doesn't focus in making art, but also it includes the history of art, and understanding what makes art beautiful. So it helps the students to um, appreciate arts and understand more. So there are four approaches of discipline-based art education. So the first one is the arts of production. So the first one is the art production. So the students engage in hands-on art making, developing their skills and creativity. So ang hika mga students is kanang ma-engage sila sa hands-on making. Like for example, ilang teachers is kanang nagpa-paint, nagkuan sila kanang painting, then ang mga students kay maka-learn kung unsaon then sa colors, pag unsaon paggamit ato sa katong mga different brush stroke. So through that, the students will be able to learn and appreciate art more. And next is the art history. So it helps student understand the cultural and historical context of artworks. Like for example, ang mga students dili lang kay sila sa kanara sa art ra sila makahibaw, kundi ang kanang sa history pud sa art kanang makahibaw sad sila kung kinsa ang mga famous artists anang panahona. Like for example sa kanang Renaissance period, which is ang kanang famous artist kay si Leonardo da Vinci. And one of the famous artwork of Leonardo da Vinci is kanang Mona Lisa. And next is the art criticism. So students learn how to analyze and critique artworks. Like for example, kanang anha nila maka-learn sila kung saon pag-critique sa works, like unsa ang mga like sa Mona Lisa kanang unsa ang unsay emotions, ang emotional impact ana sa nga paint, so mga inana. So and the last is the aesthetics. So as aesthetics, students discuss and reflect on the nature of art. Like kabantay mo sa kanang artwork ning Leonardo da Vinci is kanang Mona Lisa, which is kanang ang based sa akong na research kay ang katudawng kanang Mona Lisa is kanang lisod siya ma-interpret ang ihang ihang smile, ilang nga enigmatic smile, which is kanang maglibog ka kung smile ba siya or wala. So need kanang kay ba ihang ang painting sad kay kanang grabe gid ka creative, daghan kay kanang materials bitaw ang gigamit, which is kanang creative kayo nga pagkahimo, then productive sad. So this four approach helps the students to understand and appreciate art more.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm able to Gala, and I'm talking about the learning aesthetic and aesthetic in learning. So learning aesthetic typically refers to the subjective preferences and styles that individuals have when it comes to how they prefer to learn. So take note about how they prefer to learn. It involves factors like the environment, method, the materials, and the overall experience. So some people still prefer the interactive and visually pleasing learning environment, while others they stay and strive to traditional and more minimalist setting. So understanding one's learning aesthetic or preferences to how they learn can help tailor their educational experience to be more effective and engaging. So in simple terms, learning aesthetics means figuring out what makes your learning experience enjoyable and effective. It is also about understanding what environments, materials, and method works best for you so that you can remember things more easily. So, in the simplest appreciation of beauty, creativity, and their sensory aspects of the learning experience. It emphasized the importance of engaging and visually appealing educational materials, environment, methods to enhance the learning process. In simple terms, aesthetic in learning is about making your learning experience look and feel appealing. It involves using visual appealing graphics, well-designed course materials like your visual aids, or creating a classroom or online learning space or your PowerPoints that is aesthetically pleasing to encourage a positive and engaging learning experiences. So to sum everything up, learning aesthetic is kanang ikaw as student kung sa mga learning strategies o styles ang applicable sa imo para talaga makasabot. And aesthetic in learning is ikaw as maestra o kung sa nga kanang strategies ang imo makatag sa mga estudyante para makasabot sa imong discussion.
So good afternoon, sir. So my name is Brittain. So for my discussion, I will discuss about the basic ways to handle the teaching of the arts in a primary classroom. So there are many ways on how to handle the teaching of arts in a primary classroom, but here are just some of those. So first, we have the structured lessons. So structured lessons are the teacher plans structured lessons that introduce art concepts, techniques, and art history. So sa kanang lesson plan nato dapat structured na siya daan. Kanang structured na siya in the making of the lesson plan. And after kay i-break down ang lessons into manageable steps, especially for those students na hinay ang learning pace. Kay we all know na ang students na ay different learning techniques and learning pace. So dapat manageable siya sa student ang imuhang lesson nga himuon. Then next, we have incorporate various art forms. So here, teacher includes a variety of art forms such as visual arts. Visual arts are those that do painting, drawing, and sculpting. And also music, dance, and drama or drama theater to expose students to different creative outlets of arts. So, ari kay dili ra ka kanang mo focus gani sa usa ka art form. So dapat mo explore sad ka sa other dili ra ka for example dili ra ka focus sa visual arts, mo explore sad ka sa kanang drama, music, and so on. And next is kaning exploration and experimentation. So, exploration and experimentation encourage students to explore different mediums, styles, and techniques to foster creativity and self-expression. So, alin like kapatugin nga dapat i-explore nimo ang student para kanang mas grabe ba ang iyang masabtan and makasabot yun siya sa imuhang lesson. Then next is critical analysis. So, teacher teach students how to analyze and appreciate works of arts, discussing elements like composition, color, symbolism, and cultural context. So, there is a critical analysis kay kanaganing ang art kay kailangan din na siya og critical analysis like sa kanang katong gibuhat nato sa ethics of katong gibuhat nato sa ethics katong maghimo og mga figures so nagi na siya critical analysis before nimo siya mahimo kay maghuna-huna ka unsay kanang dapat na color unsay dapat na size unsay measurements symbolism sa katong imong gihimo nga art and also sa kanang music na ako na siya kanang critical analysis usa ka makahimo usa ka music and also sa kanang dramas and more. Then next, we have the cultural diversity. So cultural diversity introduces students to art from various cultures and time periods to broaden their understanding and appreciation of different artistic traditions. So alin kay kanang ang student kay moto ako hindi na explore na to sila. So ali explore na to sila sa mga kanang cultural diversity kani kanang different cultures and traditions. Kay para makasabot sila mas ma-broaden ang ilang understanding sa kanang art. Then next is hands-on activities. So hands-on activities teacher provide hands-on activities where students can actively create and engage with art. So ari kay dili ra kanang dapat ang teacher ra tanan ang mulihok so dapat ako'y hands-on activity ang mga students para mas kanang makasabot mas kanang para ma-test if makasabot ba sila sa lesson or wala or naa ba sila nasabtan sa lesson. So it's like kanang mga pahimuon sila pagawingon sila sa teacher example sa hands-on activity kay pagawingon sila basta mag-sculpting or mag-paint sila or mag-compose of music and so on. So next is kaning individualized learning. So individualized learning, teacher recognize that each student has unique talents and interests in the arts, offer opportunities for students to explore and develop their individual artistic strengths. So, kapag ang students na ay different learning styles and learning techniques or learning then napo na sila unique talents and interests. So, dapat dili nimo i-generalize ang imong dili lang na mag-generalize sa imong discussion, dapat napo individual learning ang makita ko. And make sure that your arts classroom is inclusive and welcoming to students of all abilities and backgrounds. So mauni siya ang some lang siya ha, dapat siya daghan if magka-research mo thoroughly. In conclusion of this discussion, remember that teaching the arts should be a dynamic and enjoyable experience for both you and the students. Adapt your approach based on the age, interests, and abilities of your students to foster a lifelong love for the arts. So that's all.